Yuval, I'm very glad to meet you. It has been 2 years since Hamas attack in Israel, during you witnessed a horrific massacre and survived against all odds, we may say. Today I'd like to talk with you about your experience, how it has shaped your life and your perspective on the broader events and their aftermath. So how do you remember that day?
So first of all, thank you for hosting me. I think this day is like super important for all the people in Israel and specifically also the people in Cyprus and in the world. It's been 2 years and I think most of the time it's like, I don't know, a nightmare. You think about this day and then you realize and remember the moments you were trying to, get out of this insane situation.
You were at the Supernova Festival.
Yeah. I was there in the Nova Festival, and when we tried to, after all the red alerts and the sirens, me and another 2 friends, Tamir and Ron, we decided to leave the party and to get home, but we couldn't make it because of terrorists were on the road, on the main road, on 232 road back home, and they were waiting in some junction on the road, shooting from range to our car, and Ron was killed at
Your friend
this point.
was
Yeah.
killed, yes. You saw the scene of the killing.
The whole scene with my friend Tamir, and we were trying to do as much as we can in order to survive at the same crazy situation. And the time has passed and you try every day to heal. At any point, you're trying to talk about it as much as you can. You're trying to tell the story, to let people know what was going on at that day in Israel. And anytime you're just talking about that, it's like getting more crazy. Because as we all know, there are still hostages in captivity in Gaza, which we all, I think, want them to come back home. So we are trying after 2 years to do the best as we can in order to reunite it in Israel and to all, trying to support the families and try to do anything we can in order to heal, but in order to not forget anybody there and to get anyone back home.
Is there a particular moment that remains most vividly engraved in your memory?
Wow. Yeah, I think I remember a lot of moments at the same day, but I think I have like one of the bad situation, and I even found out to realize one good at the whole crazy situation over there. So the first one was when I ran away from the car after the shooting. I was lying on the ground near some small yellow bush, like 40 meters from the road. And I was watching like for more than 40 minutes at the whole massacre in front of my eyes. More than 15 people were killed at the same junction, at the Miftachim junction, which is like at the south of Gaza's envelope. And that was a bad situation to look at. It was brutal murder. And I think I would never forget that moment. And I would never forget the people, the family that came to the Migunit, to the bomb shelter on the road, to bring me back to safe room at their house and to bring me my life back. Because I think right now, any people in Israel need to decide how can we do better things and better deeds for each other in order the hostages would come home and have, I don't know, a better place to go to, but also for us. So before the October 7, I opened up some non-profit organization that helping support some isolated seniors, and we are alleviating their loneliness by teenagers and repairing and renovations their houses. And I did it before.
Okay.
And after that, I decided to continue to try to bring more life to the people in Israel and to try to do good for the people in our country. And I think that's what I'm focused about, like trying to heal, but not forget anyone.
Yes. How did you experience the first days and weeks after the event?
Yeah, so I think the first 2 or 3 weeks were really hard. We needed to go to some funerals for our friends, for Ron and for another friend of mine, Matan. And it was hard. It was hard. We were sitting at my parents' house in a city like 20 minutes from Tel Aviv, trying to talk with everybody, to tell our story, to try, you know, to get all the details, the whole puzzle, to try to connect and to understand what was going on at the same morning. But my friend Tamir has also survived. So we were talking with each other. And we decided to, you know, as teens, we were just looking on the internet, like, how to prevent the PTSD. And we saw, like, tons of checklists. We decided to do, like, check by check by check, to go out, to try to talk about our story, to eat, to sleep as much as we can, but to be together. So the first 2 or 3 weeks were really hard for me and for my family specifically, but we were trying to do anything we could in order to talk about the situation and to be together and to help anybody we could.
How do you think Israel's society has changed since then?
We are changing every day in Israel, and I think it's not depends on the time. The reason that there are still hostages in Gaza is the reason that we can't heal. We can't get over it. When you go on the streets in Israel these days, people are talking about it every day, every moment. When they are going to their jobs, on the radio, specifically on any position. But we know, everybody, that we need to be united because the situation right now is particularly insane, and we know it. But we are trying to do anything we could and anything we can right now in order to be united again in our society. Because there are a lot of opinions and a lot of people that wants, of course, to do, you know, different kind of types of deeds for the hostages or for the people in Israel. But we are trying to be united, but we can't get over it, and we are dealing it every day.
Yes. Do you think that survivors of or families of victims have received the necessary support they needed?
Wow, tough question. I don't know, and I don't want to speak for them. I think we can all, the whole humanity, but specifically in Israel, the whole community and the whole nation, we need to do more. Always we need to do more. We need to support them more, and we need to do, I don't know, to talk about it more. And we need to hug them, and we need to be with them. And I think from my perspective that I could have more, and I could have more help, and I need more help as anybody else. But we are trying to understand the situation, the tough situation in Israel, and we are trying to get any help we can from each group or from each place that wants to give that help. So I don't want to speak for the whole survivals, but for me, of course, we need help. But we are trying to do the best as we can in order to, you know, not get over it, but to try to talk about it as much as we can.
So 2 years on, Yuval, Israel has come under heavy criticism internationally these days, especially with some accusing it of genocide and the use of starvation as a weapon of war in Gaza. What is your perspective on these allegations?
I think international, right now, the whole countries all over the world are reading different newspapers as me, and I think as you also. And I think I participate in some movie called We Will Dance Again. And this movie is talking about the stories of the people. There are more than 12 stories on the screen. When you get to know the people in there, you get to know me and another 11 people. At this movie, you would get to know the stories by emotional. You would get connected to the people in there and to understand what was going on the same morning. I think that the reason that we are all reading some different newspapers and talking with different people, because we are not really listening to stories. We're just reading some newspapers and having an opinion about something we don't really experience by ourselves. Same as me, I think the whole situation is insane for everybody, and our only main goal is to bring the hostages home. And I think the whole world wants the same as us. And I know the situation right now all over the world is pretty crazy, and I know we get a lot of criticism outside of Israel, and I'm just asking from people, listening to stories, talk with people, trying to understand the whole situation, the reason, what was going on the same day. Watch the movie, We Will Dance Again. It won the Emmy before like 3 months. This is the reason to watch it and to understand the whole situation from both sides, not to criticize by your own newspaper. And I think this is my best and biggest advice, but more than that, that's my opinion.
Okay. Now, looking at the bigger picture, how do you see the prospects of reconciliation or coexistence between Israelis and Palestinians in the future? You see peace in the future?
Yes. Yes, maybe in the future we would be able to sit at the same table and to talk about the whole situation. And I think after the hostages would come over Israel, we will get united again. Then we would sit and we would understand what is the next step for the whole Middle East, and specifically, of course, Israel, and the whole situation between Israelis and Palestinians. Maybe in the future, we would be able to make it. Maybe the future is soon, and maybe it's not. But right now, we can't talk about this bigger picture without, healing and getting over this war and this situation right now, because it's all a war zone right now. And you can't take any decision from your stomach. You need to take it from your brain and from your heart. But after a time, you need to sit down, to relax and to understand and to get your decision like from, healthy place.
And concluding, I want a message that maybe you want to convey to the international community, and about your story or about the situation today. What's your message to the world?
My message is, hate you can win only with love. And I'm requesting from people, watch the movie, thinking about us at the same day. You look at me, I'm 25 years old, Israeli guy, and I didn't do, I think, anything for anyone that made him feel bad. And these days, and the horrific scenes I've seen with my own eyes were pretty crazy. I'm just asking people, look at me, look at the movie, and trying to get new angle for this situation, and try to talk with people and to understand not anything is what you read in your newspaper, in your local one. Try to open up your mind and to understand that it's all complicated situation. Trying to understand what was happening the same day. And I'm asking for people, because we are getting to the 2 years, try to understand the love between us. And I hope the whole hostages would come home soon as we can, as soon as possible, because we all want to heal together and to unite together.